Formula One is a sport with a lot of different opinions from various different fans. A lot of them are completely reasonable, normal, and positive, but some of them can also be pretty controversial, or in some cases, completely stupid. Stroll is better than Alonso. I am praying that this is satire because you gotta be smoking some strong shit to even think of that, especially in 2023 where Lance literally got butt-fucked by the rookie. But takes like this is why today I'll be taking a look at some of F1's most controversial opinions out there on all sorts of social media platforms so you don't have to endure it yourself. And I am extremely worried about Twitter, because it's Twitter. And as a professional F1 addict, I will do my best to determine whether these opinions are good or bad. And hopefully this video will be able to end some of F1's biggest debates, which I know is probably not going to happen, and instead cause multiple wars in the comment section. But anyways, let's begin. Formula One is not a real sport. Alright, we are already off to a horrible start. This is single-handedly the worst take in all of F1 existence. Now, surprisingly, a lot of people still have this opinion, even with F1 drivers constantly telling the media just how grueling it is to drive a Formula One car. I mean, have you not seen Checo's training videos? It looks like he's trying to take the biggest shit in history. And has this training translated to any positive race results for the guy? No, not really, but it's still an absolute torture of a training session that every driver has to go through. So when people say shit like, why is F1 on the timeline not a real sport? Imagine watching cars sitting at home, just go outside. I start to wonder if these people are trolling or they genuinely have a brain that isn't functioning very well. And because this is Twitter, it's probably the latter. Bad opinion. Oscar Piastri is the most overrated driver on the grid right now. I'm sorry, but current Oscar Piastri is so overrated. Oscar Piastri is severely overrated. Worst rookie ever. Damn. The Oscar haters are coming off strong, guys. I might have nothing to say to that, except for this, and this, and this. People who hate Oscar Piastri genuinely need to see a therapist immediately. What has this man done to deserve any form of hate? If you hate Oscar, you are either mentally unstable or Carlos Sainz. There is no in between. So Oscar Piastri is overrated or anything remotely negative about the guy, bad opinion. How dare you? I think Lance Stroll is hot AF. Who the hell thinks that? Vale, I think you might have hit your head a little too hard somewhere, because Lance Stroll, hot? The only thing hot about Lance Stroll is his car exploding after he hits the barriers. But subjectively though, I get it. You know, the troll is a pretty good looking guy. To make sure, I even placed his face in a Pretty Scale website where he got a pretty good score. But once you take into account this man's personality, everything good about him just goes to shit.
To you, what are your emotions right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guarantee you would probably be in a happier relationship with Max Verstappen as Sid the Sloth. Don't forget there's also Charles, Oscar, Lando, Logan, Carlos Sainz, or Fernando El Padre Alonso. Just anybody but Stroll. Bad opinion. Bring back the V10s. Good opinion, if not an amazing one. F1 cars right now sound like high-powered vacuum cleaners, and the 2026 regulations aren't going to be fixing that anytime soon. So many people have been vocal about bringing the V10s back to the sport for years now. The V10s sounded heavenly in Formula One. I mean, just take a look at this quick comparison. Alright, so no question there, the V10 sounded so much better, great opinion. Nicholas Latifi is quite easily the worst Formula One driver to have ever lived. Okay, now this is single-handedly the worst take in F1 history, forget the rest. How dare you, Cal, say that Nicholas Latifi is the worst Formula One driver to have ever lived? Imagine disrespecting the GOAT like that. Unbelievable. I sentence you to 2 years of Ferrari fan torture. Plus, even if we're being for real, the worst F1 driver isn't even Nicholas Latifi. It's Lord Mahavir, goddammit. Get it right. Lewis Hamilton is 8-time world champion. Oh boy, this one's controversial. Now I know you guys are expecting this to be a bad opinion, but what if I told you that this is actually good? Heck, even everyone else in the actual sport has said it, even Christian Horner himself.
It shouldn't be like that, to be honest with you. I mean, Max has incurred a 51G accident. Lewis Hamilton is an 8-time world champion. You know, that...
But when you take this statement, multiply it by 2, do that again, and again, and again, this is when it starts being annoying. Ever since the controversial Abu Dhabi 2021, a lot of people from Team LH or Max Verstappen haters absolutely love shoving that opinion down people's throats, even to this day, that whenever you see an F1 post about Lewis's statistics being updated, there would always be hundreds of comments that go, actually Lewis is 8-time world champion, as if it's gonna make F1 change the number on their website. And even posts that are just straight up misleading, where they claim someone has stated Lewis is an 8-time world champion when they never did. Why do these people need so much validation that they have to resort to faking quotes? So Lewis Hamilton is an 8-time world champion. Good if you keep it to yourself, bad opinion if you spread it like rats with the plague. And don't worry guys, for the sake of your sanity, after all of these opinions that probably have traumatized you by now, I am confident that it will not get any worse than that. So on to the next opinion. Never mind, it got a whole lot worse than that. The GOAT of Formula 1 is something a lot of people have different ideas towards, and that's fine. But when people get into heated online debates about it, it's honestly the stupidest shit I've seen all day. A couple months ago, I made a community post telling everyone that Logan Sargent is the GOAT, using Lewis Hamilton's statistics. This was satire, clear as day, but still, there were people who genuinely got offended by this and tried to correct me by saying, it's supposed to be Lewis Hamilton, and then bam, Snooperty with the career ending, actually it's supposed to be Lewis Hamilton, and a nerd emoji. This man's comment has been destroyed. But being completely unbiased here, if we really do need one definite driver as the GOAT, it's Nicholas Latifi, no question there. And I would put Logan Sargent and Nick De Vries as close second and thirds, while Jos Verstappen gets a special award for being the GOAT of beating his own child. And since we're now heading into YouTube comments, I just want to take the time to say that you guys are honestly the best fans a guy could ever have. Like genuinely, I never expected this kind of support from when I started the channel, and just now wherever I go, there would be comments that just say Rick is simply better and correct, or whenever I mention Daniel, is that Daniel Ricciardo from the hit team Visa Cash App RB? Honestly, y'all are the best people ever. But with that being said, YouTube comments can still be the best place to find the most horrendous F1 opinions, because in the F1 community, if you're just getting into the sport, diving into it can either be the most welcoming experience or straight up the worst, most abusive shit that you feel like you're enduring Max Verstappen's childhood over and over again. Speaking about that, Max Verstappen was not abused. He told a few stories, now people act like it was. Only that his father gave up everything for Max and his dream and made him who he is today. Jos is an amazing father. Yeah, he lost me at that point. This take is so wrong in so many ways. Yes, Jos Verstappen molded Max to what he is now, but Max was abused in his childhood. There's like hundreds of articles about it. The guy also trauma dumps in every goddamn PR stunt that he's in.
My dad always, when I was a little kid, would call me a little bit different, but I'm not gonna say that on camera.
And Jos literally flexes his child beatings in interviews like he's wearing designer items from Gucci.
He would stand up, I know, really smash him on his helmet heel. Bang! And he was like...
And gave up his dreams for Max? Mate, Jos achieved his dreams through Max. Bad opinion. I don't know how Alpine fell off so hard. They turned a race car into a tractor in a single year. It's because they're French. Good opinion. Okay, so now back to F1 Twitter, aka hell. Lewis Hamilton is washed. Max Verstappen is washed. Fernando Alonso is washed. At this point, I don't think these are even worth responding to. You already know the answer. The toxic part of the F1 community has gotten so bad that drivers could slip and fall and then boom, 300 tweets saying that their career is over. Like, the F1 community can be so bad that this is literally the average day on F1 Twitter.
Really?
Although I do have a tweet which might prove that Lewis Hamilton is actually washed. I mean, just take a look at this. Lewis Hamilton is so washed. He got beaten by Lewis Hamilton, my GOAT. Now this, I think, explains everything. I cannot believe this, guys, that Lewis Hamilton has just had his record beaten by Lewis Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff, Lewis. How could you let Lewis do that to you, man? I'm convinced that women generally don't like sports and are just infatuated with specific players or sportsmen. See F1, for example. Okay, so judging by the Lance Stroll is hot tweets, I am very close to agreeing with this, and the fact that there are people who are actually thirsting so hard over Kimi Antonelli, who is literally 17 years old.
But
thankfully, there are actual women who love Formula 1 for what it is. I just haven't met any of them. because I don't know how to talk to women. How anyone can still be interested in F1 seems mad to me. You know what also seems mad to me, Rich? Your fucking grammar. But anyways, this guy goes, correct, it is absolute shite and has been done that race director decided to hand the championship to Verstappen. Oh my god, man, I thought we were over this. Get the fuck out of here. Alright, so how can anyone still be interested in F1? Funny how this guy tweeted this right after the 2024 Hungarian Grand Prix where all of this happened.
Way round, Piastri takes the lead of the race. Time he gets there, he locks up and he makes contact with his old rival. Oscar Piastri wins for the first time in Formula One.
And that, Richie boy, is why we're all still interested in F1. Bad opinion. F1 is unbearably mid. Alright, so as you guys can tell, this was a WhatsApp message, so you know it's personal. I have never understood people who don't like F1. The sport is actually so fucking cool, even at the most boring times. So to uncover why, I decided to ask my friends why they don't like F1. And after a few messages, these were their responses. Everyone said it's because I like it. What the fuck? Kevin Magnussen and Haas will part ways at the end of the season. This really isn't a take, but I do want to say that I'm pretty sad about this, so bad opinion. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally at the last opinion. So let's quickly read this out and get it over with. Here we go. Lance Stroll is so hot. No, we're not doing that. All right, let me just remove that real quick. All right, so here is the last opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. I'm a Red Bull fan and an F1 fan first. I can admit that I don't like Mercedes, but I can most certainly appreciate some of the finest drives Lewis has made, like Brazil 2021 or Singapore quali, just to name a few. There are controversies on all teams, but we as fans should know better. Wait. Are we still on Twitter? Oh my god, we are. I cannot believe it, guys. I think we might have just found the first goated opinion in F1 history, and this guy ruined it. Man, what the fuck did this guy even say? Abu Dhabi 2021. Man, why are we still talking about this? But anyways, those are some of F1's most controversial opinions that I've found on social media, and it literally only took me 30 minutes to find these opinions. That's how fast it is and just how horrible the F1 community can be. But seriously though, guys, after all of those opinions, can we all just agree to spread positivity and love every single F1 driver equally? All the drivers deserve it, no matter how bad they could be. Except for these two. Fuck these guys. Never in my life will I have sympathy for these two unless they buy it from me, like how they bought their seats.